Hey, Max here, and I got a hot topic to talk to you Star Wars and movie fans about. It's about the bad blood between Kathleen Kennedy and George Lucas, and I want to know from you guys, do you think it's there? Because I don't think he's happy with her after the stunts she pulled. And we're going to go over that, and we're going to talk about Hollywood in general, the grumpy old men of Hollywood, why they're upset with the trends of the superhero genre movies. Avengers Infinity War is coming out days away, so that's what we're going to talk about in this episode, but I need to give the disclaimer first. Warning! This video contains rumors, speculation, strong opinions, and a Mad Max. And I am mad because, you know what? They're egomaniacs. Some of the comments from James Cameron recently, but you know what? He has a right to be upset, and that's what we're going to talk about. The bad blood. This hot topic's all about the grumpy old men directors in Hollywood, and the bad blood between Kathleen Kennedy and George Lucas. Why are these directors so upset? Well, I think I know why George is. Star Wars Episode 7, 8, and 9. He said in an interview with Kathleen when Disney first took over Lucasfilm, I have treatments for 7, 8, and 9. I moved that treasure trove over to Kathy, and I have complete confidence that she will make great movies. And that's why I think there is bad blood, because she didn't. And he cut to seconds away in that same interview, cut to Kathy, and she was slick with her words even then. He said, I have confidence she will make great movies. And she didn't even say, yeah, we will. She said, we are absolutely going to make Star Wars movies. So it's pretty, read between the lines there. She knew exactly what she was doing right out the gate. And we are in the midst of sitting down with writers. Ha ha! Writing the trilogy before filming. That didn't happen. They went straight into production without a solid plan. And then she said, I wanted to make sure I am not entirely on my own, because it's important that he be a little guardian angel on my shoulder. She's talking about George Lucas. Yeah, right. Helping me do this. My Yoda has to be there. Yeah, she's real concerned with him. He should definitely have been a creative consultant. It's ridiculous. At least for the sequel trilogy, and then go do his own thing. He should have been so involved with this trilogy. So I think there is bad blood. It's movie politics. So I think a lot of behind the scenes there. She was all along the whole ride for Lucasfilm, but when she got her opportunity, she shut him out. And I think there's bad blood because of that. And I think Mark Hamill is one of the only ones that's still loyal to... Mark Hamill and Dave Filoni are still really loyal to George. And that's probably why she doesn't even acknowledge Filoni's accomplishments. Rebels had a great series, an epic finale, and she had no comment on it whatsoever. What a shame. And you're supposed to be the president of Lucasfilm? So here's some other comments of some recent comments from James Cameron and one from Steven Spielberg a few years ago. Okay, here's the James Cameron quote. I'm sure if you follow movie news, you've heard this everywhere this week. I'm hoping we'll start getting Avenger fatigue here pretty soon, Cameron said. Not that I don't love the movies, it's just, come on guys, there are other stories to tell besides hyper-gonadal males with families doing death-defying things for 2 hours and wrecking cities in the process. It's like, oi! Here's the Steven Spielberg quote from a few years ago. We were around when the Western died, and there will be a time when the superhero movie goes the way of the Western. It doesn't mean there won't be another occasion where the Western comes back and the superhero movie someday returns. And then here's the George Lucas quote from that same... no, this is from the famous white slaver interview with Charlie Rose. They wanted to do a retro movie. I don't like that. Every movie, I worked very hard to make them different, Lucas said. I made them completely different planets, different spaceships to make it new. And I think that's what we're missing. And that's why I think they have a right to be upset. Because even Marvel, and the Marvel movies are a lot of fun, but they do follow a formula, and they're not pushing, I think they're not pushing as much as you think they are with the special effects and the genre. Now Avengers Infinity War is going to be amazing, and it's quite an accomplishment. But if you think about the classic, the people that brought blockbusters, the directors that brought blockbusters into the movie theater, that created Star Wars was one of the first. Steven Spielberg, James Cameron. They really pushed the envelope and they pushed technology forward. And I think we're missing that still. Even with the Marvel movies. There are some fun, really fun movies. I love them. But are we getting that next step forward in movie making? Or are they pushing the envelope? Thanos. He looks decent. He should be a marvel of special effects to me. He should be really pushing it even further. Now, I'll be first in line for Avengers Infinity War. Don't get me wrong. But I thought it was worth discussing. And here's my take on all this. They should be upset because they created blockbuster movies. And now they can't compete. You know why James Cameron's so upset? Well, he is an egomaniac. But what director isn't? But it's too hard to compete in the McDisney era. And I'm starting to think we may only get one Avatar movie or or two, because they may film them back to back. Because if Disney acquires Fox, it's a done deal. He is not going to create total control. Look at the situation with George Miller and the Mad Max franchise. The Mad Max franchise, which I really like, and I loved Fury Road. It was amazing. Critically acclaimed, made a little profit, but Hollywood does not care about making quality movies anymore. The margins for profit are too narrow. You know why Kathleen Kennedy hired all those young directors? Because you can push them around and take it over. This is how blockbuster movies are being made, and it's not just Star Wars. It's more important to start something and then cut and paste it and slap it together at the end to make a deadline. Deadlines are more important than quality. This is how we got here. George Miller's Mad Max movie, even though received well by the public and critics, took too long to produce and didn't make enough green. That's why they are fighting him over every last dollar. And if they make one more Mad Max movie again, it'll probably be with the young director using the same mass-produced McDisney garbage formula. So this is what's happening all over Hollywood, and it's not just Star Wars. These blockbuster visionaries are not happy, and they shouldn't be. Now, James Cameron's comments were lame, but do you blame him? How do you compete? Avatar is going to go up against either a Star Wars movie or a Marvel movie. The blockbuster movie genre only has so many weekends a year, but it has something. But Avatar does have. Now, Avatar, it's not an original story, but it was groundbreaking for visual effects and 3D technology. And it has something that I really care about in blockbuster movies. It pushes the envelope for technology, animation, and special effects. And that gets me excited. And I think it's the only thing that's really going to push. Do you think Disney Star Wars is going to push the envelope in these categories? No. It's more important them to make the whole Christmas holiday every year than to really push the envelope and push things forward. Star Wars was a benchmark for other reasons, and it was also for the special effects. And so were the prequels. They may have not aged as well, but they were groundbreaking at that time for the amount of special effects that were in them. Maybe you think that, maybe some viewers think that's why the acting was so bad, because they didn't have anything to act against. But they still pushed the envelope, and I think we're missing that now altogether. Groundbreaking special effects. Marvel isn't really pushing that. Now they're succeeding on many other areas, and I have a lot of fun with the Marvel movies, and I'm so looking forward to Infinity War. But as much as I'm excited to see Thanos finally on the big screen, do you say to yourself when you see him in the trailers, "Wow, that's amazing"? I don't see it. I think he looks good. He looks decent. I think he could have looked better. Since Avatar came out, special effects are at a standstill. And in my opinion, they're getting worse. Look at Justice League. Look at Pacific Rim Uprising. They seem to be cutting corners, cutting keyframes of animation, and look less polished. Everything's choppy and faster. It's not smooth. It's the trend in Hollywood to cut back on your special effects, because they're more concerned about deadlines, budget, and marketing. I kind of feel like James Cameron's Avatar 2 is dead in the water. And that's sad to say. It also may be the last time you get a blockbuster movie where the director has total creative control. And wait until Disney gets its greedy hands on Avatar franchise. So, I do think James and other old school directors should watch what they say. I totally see where they're coming from, though. And I think the magic in blockbuster movies is gone. And pushing the boundaries with lots of special effects and a huge budget, it puts him at risk for failure. Because Hollywood doesn't care about making quality anymore. Because you can make more money on junk. And that's what we're getting with Star Wars. Quality is too risky. They're not worried about quality. You make more with junk. That's why we're never going to get that sequel to Mad Max Fury Road, because it was an amazing movie, but look how long it took to produce. They could have made 3 McDisney garbage junk movies in that time frame and made more money. And that's the it's a disease in Hollywood right now, is the McDisney movie formula. And I think that's why you get all these grumpy old men directors. They have a reason to be. If Avatar 2 fails, who will push the genre forward? Now, I'm not saying I like James Cameron's films a lot. I'm not a huge fan of him personally, but I think he does great work. And I think Avatar, the first one, borrowed a lot from classic stories, but it was still groundbreaking, and I still really enjoyed it, and I loved every moment of those great special effects. So that's what I love, and if it fails, I already think that the risks are going away, and we're just getting into this bland stuff. But if Avatar 2 fails, it's gonna be a done deal. So I want to know your thoughts on that too. Are you still looking for Avatar? Are you looking forward to Avatar 2? Or do you think Avatar 1 was overhyped and wasn't worth it? To me, I really enjoy the movie still to this day because of the great special effects. And I treat it as a benchmark that's still special effects and sci-fi. Can you name a movie that's approached that level? I'm not sure. Thought it'd be an interesting topic to talk to you guys about. And here's the viewer comment. Apostate001, thanks for your comment. Enfy's Nest gets her Cloud Riders, yet Kylo Ren, after 2 movies, still has no Knights of Ren. Great point. And you know what? After Lord and Miller were fired, Kathleen Kennedy is the one that pushed the Cloud Riders. Big surprise. And we still don't get the Knights of Ren. I really wanted to see the Knights of Ren. I'm not sure if they're even going to fit into episode 9 now. They probably should have brought them in episode 8. So great point, great comment, and keep them coming. And this is where I want to remind you, you don't have to follow me anywhere. Following is creepy. TeePublic, I have t-shirts. Patreon stinks. And the Movie Talk Cam Girls is an epidemic here on YouTube. And I think, am I the only one that is bugged by this? Now, there's YouTubers I watch that do it, and I really enjoy their channel. But tell me for real, what do you think of this trend? Because it's getting worse. So, I'll see you on the next hot topic, guys.